Today we're going to do an activity to explore the relationship between the range of a projectile, the horizontal range of a projectile, and the angle from the horizontal. In other words, the angle between the projectile launcher and the ground. We're going to see what that relationship is at a basic level. First thing you need to do is you take your projectile launcher and you've got a plumb line here to set the angle on. You adjust it to the right angle, and then you need to adjust your board to where it's as close as possible to the same level as the projectile launcher. And we've got lots of books. You can move it up and down, and it may not be exact, but get it as close as you can. Then you kind of have to guesstimate. Give yourself a little space here based on how far the projectile launcher is going to launch. We're going to launch on the second click, the second position, the second setting. By the way, when you load these things, do not stick your finger in there. You want to use a pen or some other object like a pen to load. And a lot of people I see push the plunger in and then stick the ball in. It works fine just to put the ball bearing in and then push on the ball, and that will load it for you. So now I've got my angle. We're going to do it with angles 10, 20, 30, all the way through 80 degrees. So I've got it set at 80 degrees. I would line up my muzzle launcher, the edge of my muzzle launcher with the crack. It makes it easy to measure. And then I'd line up my board with another edge of the crack. Now I found if you lay your ruler, your yardstick down flat, and you take the video this way, it's really hard to see when the ball bearing is hitting the board. So I recommend that you set your meter stick on edge, and then you take your iPad angle, your video from this angle. If you need to do a quick shot to see about where it's going to go, that's fine. If it turns out later you run out of board, you can always slide the board, and all you've done is change. If I slide the board forward, I've just changed this distance, and then I add that to whatever my meter stick is. So you can always adjust the board later if you need to. The details of exactly what you're going to do with the data is in the instructions. We only have 6 projectile launchers, which means some of us are going to have to share it. If 2 groups are sharing, it would work fine. The timing would work fine. I load. There's no ball bearing in here. Oh, that reminds me of another thing. You need to make sure that you'll have to hold this with your hand or put your foot in it when you launch it. So I load it, I shoot, I take the video, and then while I'm looking at my video, decide exactly where it hit, the next group could load, shoot, and take their video, and 2 people could use the same setup with no problem, with each group taking their own video and their own data. That shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't really take much extra time. So this is a fairly quick lab, so you should have plenty of time to do your worksheet at the end. Good luck.